Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you a flower center style that I'll be using in a video that I'll be uploading shortly after this. I wanted to separate the two, the flower center with the flower, because not everybody watches those flower tutorials, so I'll just be doing the flower center here. For this flower center I have 8.5 by 11 inch piece of paper. I've cut a 1/4 inch lines across with my Silhouette Cameo to get this fringe cut. You can use a pair of scissors, an X-Acto knife, and a ruler, or a rotary trimmer to get the same sort of effect. It will take longer, but I actually have 3 sheets of this hot pink or fuchsia cut, and then I have one a light pink. It's just a bit, an inch shy of 8, so maybe 7.5 inches wide and 11 inches length, and I will be putting together the center to show you really quickly. So for this flower center I wanted something big, and it kind of curved into itself, and I wanted it 2 colors. The flower that I'll be making is two-toned, so that's why I have 2 different flowers. So you can use this with just 1 color if you'd like. But what I want to do is just glue the edges together, both sides together here. And I did not want to crease, so it still has those loops. And I'll just loosen up the paper a little bit. And then add a little bit of glue to start, and then roll this. I like to add a little bit of glue along the way so that it stays put. And a little bit at the end. Okay, so then I'm going to set this aside. This will be the center of the flower center. So with these 3 sheets, what I've done is I folded them so that they are not quite flush. The sides are not quite flush with each other. So if I had, then each side would be line up, so with the corners. But what I did here is I wanted to fold it just about maybe 1/2 inch before the first side hit the other side. So it's off by 1/2 inch. I'm blanking on the best way to explain that, but if I had wanted them lined up, this is the way it would look. I do not want the sides to line up. So folding it that way, one side is longer than the other, and I wanted that crease. So I had creased this sheet, and I wanted to show you it with this piece of paper. So here, I'm going to fold it so that the sides do not line up. If they had, they would look like this. Or I mean, if they were, they would look like this. But I want it slightly off. So this particular sheet, I want it to be about 1 inch off. And then I'm going to crease the sheet. So crease these here. You can use a bone folder. I love this. So this is a bone folder. If you haven't watched any of my other videos, this is what I like to fold and score and curl all my petals with. Okay, so I've essentially one side is longer than the other. You'll see that the crease is not down the middle, but it's off to the side. So this one was about an inch. I have two that are off by about an inch. And this one is about half an inch, and I have 3 sheets of this one for this particular center. So you can do whatever style that, or however many sheets that you want after you get an idea of what the style looks like. But when I glue it, I do want the sides to line up, and I want them to sit flush together, so side to side, and the corners line up as well. So I folded it so that it wouldn't line up, but I want to glue it so that it does. And I had done this in my previous flower center tutorial. What it gives you is sort of an arch shape in one side of the sheet. So it has like a half an arc, or a semicircle, however you want to decide to call that, but that's exactly what I want. So this is the 1/2 inch sheet where I folded it off by 1/2 inch. These are the ones that I folded about an inch off. And I want to do exactly the same as I did with this sheet. I just want to glue them so that they are sitting flush together, so the sides line up. And then one more. You can play around with the where you fold it. So if you folded it maybe 2 inches from the other side, you would get a taller arc. So this one's 1 inch compared to this one, which was 1/2 inch. It's slightly bigger. Not sure if I'm showing that correctly, but this is the one where I folded it 1/2 inch from the other edge. This one was 1 inch from the other edge. So the loops, or the half of the loop, is taller in this case. And so what I want to do now is I want to glue them and wrap them around this center here. So I'm going to start with the one that I folded the least, so 1/2 inch from the other edge. I'll add a little glue to start at the bottom. Remember, I cut this one, it was about 1 inch less as wide. So 7.5 inches, these were 8.5 inches. I am completely blanking on words right now, but this is why the light pink one in the middle sits a little bit lower. It's because I didn't use as wide of a sheet. So I just want to keep wrapping it around. Alright, and that's essentially the look that you're going to get. I should have mentioned that I wanted the loops to sort of curve around this, and so that's the way that I glued it. If you flipped it around, the curves would sit outward. It would be more out. I mean, play around. I'm probably not describing it the best way. Or actually, I can show you because I have more. If I glued it so that the loops are facing outward, and that's what gives that curved in look. But if I flipped it around, it would curve outwards like that. I hope I'm explaining that correctly. So it does matter which side you glue it on, but the different sides give you different looks. So I'm just going to keep gluing these to the center. I do want them glued tightly together. So just to reiterate, that first sheet that I wrapped around this pink was glued 1/2 inch away from the edge, and these remaining two were glued about 1 inch away from the edge. And I wanted that, I made it that way so that the outer pieces can come out more, or they can curve more. So the one, that first sheet does not curve as much outwards, but the second, or the following sheets will. So if you were to keep building on this, I would keep gluing them further and further away when you're, I would keep creasing the paper further and further away and then gluing it the same. I hope I'm making sense with that. So that's all there is to it for this one. You can play with different colors. I like this color scheme, especially because it matches the flower I will be making shortly after this. But you can build up and then have a wider flower center, so it just needs more and more sheets. You can fluff it up just a little if you'd like to make it look more natural. But that's essentially it. Thanks for watching.